Alright, I'm back again with another PS3 video, this time going through all of my backlog. So in the previous videos I went through all the games that I have played for the PS3. First up, I have here a stack of games that I'm either currently playing or that I stopped playing midway through. So I have these in my backlog, although I have some opinions on them. So first up we have Bayonetta, a beloved Platinum Games title. I started playing this years ago, but I stopped midway through for some reason. I can't even remember anymore why. I should start it over from the beginning, but yeah, it's a fantastic game. I just haven't been able to complete it. Next up, Blaze Blue Continuum Shift Extend. This is, I believe, the second game in the series. This I stopped playing this, I think, because I really like the first game, and this one I didn't know it before I started playing. This one has the same story mode, I believe. It's the same single player story mode with some extra in it. Yeah, experience more of the world of BlazBlue with 6 new story scenarios. So it's basically the same story mode but with some extras in it, and that just didn't really interest me that much. So I played for a little while and put it on the side. I'll go back to it at some point, maybe. Child of Eden is a rail shooter, if I remember correctly. Yeah. This is by the people who later made Tetris Effect, and before this they made Rez, if I'm not mistaken. It's a really beautiful game. The gameplay or the controls aren't the best. I am almost at the end, but I just haven't gone back to it in a long time, so I only have a couple more levels to beat. There was some spot in a game that I got stuck in, I couldn't get past, and that's why I stopped playing it, but it's just a couple of levels that I have to finish, so a very quick one to complete when I get to it. Right. Naughty Bear, this is the gold edition that has a bunch of the DLC on disc. So this is the American Gold Edition. There is a European release for the standard Naughty Bear base game, but I don't have that one. I only have this Gold Edition. I also don't have the sequel. There's a sequel as well for this. Yeah, this isn't the greatest game. I'm not a huge fan of this title. I played a couple of hours from the start of the game, but it's not very good. The stealth mechanics are not very well fleshed out, and the action is very repetitive, but anyway. Tales of Symphonia Chronicles. This is going to piss a lot of people off, but I really don't like the first game. I recently completed the first game. It took me 2 years to get through it. I played it on and off. Like 60 plus hours it took me for completion. The base game plus a bunch of the side missions. I did all of the main side missions, like the devil arms and the skeleton like sword dancer boss fights and all that other stuff. I just found it very generic and just basic. It's fine. And recently I started playing the second game, which is also just, fine. So I'll get through it in a year or two, maybe. Whenever I have the time and feel like playing it, I'll put a couple of hours into it. Right, a game that I really don't like, this is The Godfather 2. The original Godfather game for the PS2, and also their support for it on the PS3, is a fantastic open world licensed game. The second one I just thought was really bad, so I just stopped playing it midway through. And another game that I just didn't really feel like playing a lot, Tom Clancy's End War. This is a pretty interesting strategy game for the consoles. It's a voice command controlled real time strategy game. Tom Clancy's End War. It's an interesting idea. The controls are okay, the game's okay, but I don't know. Maybe I'll continue it at some point. Right. So that's the backlog that I have for games that I've played at some point. Now I have a bunch here that I haven't played at all. So let's start with 007 Quantum of Solace. I've heard that this is a very good third-person shooter, so this is one that I will definitely check out at some point. One of the many James Bond licensed games that are quite interesting and should be pretty good. Right, this is another licensed title. Is Afro Samurai. Features Samuel L. Jackson and other very famous voice actors. Music by RZA, legendary hip-hop artist. And I just haven't found the time to play this. It looks really good. Armored Core 5. Armored Core 5 Verdict Day. And that's it. No, I don't. I don't have all of the Armored Core games. Yeah, I have these two Armored Core games for the PS3. So this is the main game, and this is the sequel for it. Haven't gotten to them yet. I have a lot of Armored Core games in my backlog, so there's a bunch of stuff that I have to play before I ever get to this. Right, another couple of games here. Army of Two, the 40th Day. There is also a third one, which I don't have, but these are the first two, I believe. Or is this the third one? I can't remember. But yeah, original and one of the sequels. I got these simply because there aren't that many co-op games around anymore, so these are co-op PS3 games that I will play with someone at some point. Right, Assassin's Creed, Black Flag. This is the fourth one. I don't have the third one at all, but this is one of the ones that people like the most, so I picked it up at one point. Still haven't played it. Azura's Wrath. This is quite a sought-after title for the PS3. It is complete. I had this sealed, right? A couple of years ago, you could still buy this brand new for 20 euros online, but now it's out of print and it's getting very expensive. Doesn't have the DLC. I'm still hoping that they re-release this or make a remake or something for the newer consoles with all of the DLC included, because the DLC is the end of the game basically. So a part of the story is cut out for the DLC, which sucks. Okay, I have one Atelier title here. This is a series that I don't really know anything about, other than that it's a long-lasting JRPG series. A lot of people like these games. This is the only one I think I own. Never played it. I don't know much about this series. Atelier Rorona, The Alchemist of Arland. Right, some Battlefield titles. There's Bad Company 2, sequel to the great Battlefield Bad Company game. And then I have Battlefield 3 as well. Yeah, I'll maybe play the campaigns at some point. This is Bionic Commando, which is a reboot. I believe the original game, is it for the NES? I think it's for the NES. So this is a reboot of Bionic Commando as a series. Probably didn't sell too well because I don't think they ever made new ones, but yeah, probably a fine shooter, I don't know. Right, some import stuff here. This is Boku no Natsuyami 3 does not have English language as an option, even though it does have some English text here, Summer Holidays, 20th Century. So Boku no Natsuyami, this is a series about spending the summer in a countryside. A series that has never been brought to the West. It's basically an exploration game. You go around catching butterflies and fishing and all the other stuff that you could do in a countryside small town. Yeah. I like the series a lot. It has a very, very fun and charming feel to it. Right? Original Borderlands. This is some sort of slip cover version of it. I don't know. Is there something extra in it? Nope. It's just a collector's slip cover, I guess. Yeah, I really like the second game. I've never played the first one, but I have it in the backlog. Right. Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway. I really like some of the PS2 games. I think I had one PS2 game from this series. And I always thought it was a fine like World War II shooter. It's a third-person squad-based game where you are the squad leader and you order around your troops. So this didn't review too well, but I'm sure it's just fine. Anyway, what else do we have? Brutal Legend, the strange Tim Schafer game, real-time strategy, action, heavy metal game. Never played it. It sounds strange and compelling, so at some point I'll try it out. Right, FPS title here, Bulletstorm is the limited edition. There is also a PS4 version of this. Never played it. Some Call of Duty here. One game only, actually. Oh yeah, I only have Black Ops 2 in the backlog for Call of Duty. And why do I have this? I bought this at the flea market for maybe €2. So complete in box. So why not? I'll give it a shot at some point. Call of Juarez, the Cartel, a sequel to the first Call of Juarez title that I liked a lot. And this doesn't take place in the American Western landscapes. This, as the name says, Cartel. So this is a gang warfare first-person shooter. Then I have the original Castlevania Lords of Shadow. I don't think I have the second game. This is one of the titles that I should be playing next, probably on a PS3. Heard a lot of good things about it. Third-person hack-and-slash version of Castlevania. One of the early horror titles for the PS3, Clive Barker's Jericho. This is a first-person horror game written by Clive Barker, the horror writer. I really like Clive Barker's The Books of Blood, so this should be interesting at least. Didn't get the best reviews, but I think all of the gameplay that I've seen looks pretty good, so I'll get to it at some point. Crysis 2, I have the HD collection for the PS4, so when I play that, I'll put this on the shelf as well. I just have it here to remind me that I need to play them at some point. Never played any of the Crysis games. Right, then we have another import title. This is Vampire Resurrection, which I believe is a Darkstalkers game, right? Yes, Darkstalkers Revenge. So the Japanese name that they use often for this is Vampire Resurrection, but Darkstalkers in the West, it's a 2D fighting game. I don't remember if this has English language as an option, but it's a fighting game, so you can still probably play it without English language. What is this? Oh, it's Dead Island Riptide. It's the sequel to the Dead Island game. Never played this one. Like I said in an earlier video, I like the first one quite a bit, but maybe I'll check that out at some point. What do I have next? Devil May Cry, yeah. HD Collection has the first 3 games in the series. I've never played any Devil May Cry titles, so someday I will check these out and I'll get the newer ones. I don't think I even own any of the newer ones. I think there are 3 more. 4, then Devil May Cry again, and then Devil May Cry 5, I think. Right, some more horror FPS. This is Doom 3. The BFG edition comes with a slipcover, and I believe this has on disc. Yes, this has on disc some of the early Doom games as well. Yeah, has Doom 1 and Doom 2 on disc, along with the remastered version of the 3rd game. And the original Doom is one of my favorite games of all time. The 2nd one I've never played, and the 3rd one I've never played. The 3rd one was not very well received by fans of the series, so I don't know what to make of that, but I'll play it at some point. Right, Dynasty Warriors Strike Force. This is some kind of a spin-off title in a Dynasty Warriors series. I don't really know much about this, so have it in my backlog. Some more shooting titles. This is Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard. A ridiculous looking action game. Eternal Sonata is one of the JRPGs for the PS3. Wasn't very well received. This is very heavy. Is there something extra in it? No, the booklet is just really thick. Feels very heavy. The PS3 has a lot of JRPGs that were not very well received. I have quite a few of them. Wow, this is a fantastic title. iPad Move Edition. Haven't played it. This is a flea market pickup for 1 or 2 euros. I got it because it's in really good condition. Like almost mint condition. Complete as well. Also the cover art is pretty funny, so why not? Next up, Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax. This is a fighting game, as you can probably tell from the title. Anime style fighter. This was not released in Europe, I don't think so. This is an American copy. Some Final Fantasy titles. So this is Final Fantasy 13-2. I have some of the limited editions here. I'll pick them up next. There's also Final Fantasy 13. This is the collector's edition. One of the annoying things about this collector's edition is that it has empty space in the box. So it's not... If you put something on top of it, it will get flattened. And there's also quite a bit of damage to the box, unfortunately. But what does it come with? There's some art book, at least. What is this? Oh, there are some art cards. Again, I'm not going to make the mistake of taking the band off because I can't get them back inside. Soundtrack selection. What are these? Are these stickers? Yeah, some stickers. Then there's a hardcover The World of Final Fantasy 13 art book. Some chocobos. Character art. Right. One of the blind spots of my video game knowledge is Final Fantasy. I own almost all of the games, but I haven't played any of them. I've played the first disc of Final Fantasy VII and the beginning of the second disc on PS1, but I've never completed any of them. So at some point, my god, this is impossible. I can get this back inside the box. I don't want to damage it. At some point I will have to go through the Final Fantasy series from the first game onward and try to get back in, or try to catch up with the series. Right. And then I also have the Final Fantasy X and X-2 limited edition, which comes with, what does it come with? It also has an art book in it. It has the game case and an art book, yeah. Also hardcover, very nice cover arts. Final Fantasy games always have really nice art. So that is to be expected. Yeah, this doesn't have anything else extra in it, I don't think. Game, of course, is included. But yeah, maybe I'll get to Final Fantasy at some point. There's like more than 20 of the games now, so it's going to take a while, but at some point, maybe. Alright, let's continue. This is again one of the more sought after PS3 titles, getting a bit expensive. Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage. This is a brawler style of game, 3D brawler, if I'm not mistaken. What do we have here? Fracture. This is some kind of an FPS title, I guess. Don't know anything about it. Front Mission Evolved. The Front Mission series, at least the early games, are something that interests me a lot. I have on a PS1, I think, the second game. So these are turn-based JRPGs with mechas. This one is not a JRPG. This is just a third-person action game. So this is like a spin-off title in series. Not very well received, but the original game just like a couple of months ago got the re-release on PS4 and 5. So I'll probably try that out at some point. One of the early FPS games on PS3, Haze, not a very well-received title either. Never played it. Don't know much about it. I'll go through one more stack in this video, and I can then complete the collection videos for PS3 in the next one. So, what is this? Hellboy, right? The Science of Evil. This is, I believe, a God of War clone. Not very good, apparently, but I'll see it for myself when I play it. I also have the original Hyperdimension Neptunia. There are enhanced edition of this and a lot of sequels. Never played them, so fan servicey JRPG titles. I only have that one game from the series. Right, Infamous 2, the sequel that I never played. So, I mean, the first game is fine. So probably the second game is fine as well. So I have to get to it at some point. Just Cause 2. Don't know much about the series. Should be fun. I don't know why I've never played these. I do own a couple of them, but should be fun, like GTA type games. Open world action games. Then I have Killzone 2 and 3. The second one is a Steelbook edition. Is there something in here? Just a booklet, nothing too special. I've played the original Killzone on a PS2 and I really liked it, but I never completed it. I played it at a friend's place. I never actually owned it. I still don't own it, actually. Actually, I still don't own it. But yeah, very well reviewed and beloved first party Sony games. I'll get to them at some point. Kingdom of Amalur Reckoning role-playing game. I think I've accidentally bought this game like 3 times. It's really cheap. It's always in a bargain bin. I never remember if I have it, so I have a bunch of extra copies in some box somewhere that I should try to get rid of at some point. A really strange PS Move title, Kung Fu Rider. I'm surprised that this game isn't a cult classic yet. It's basically a game where you are rolling down a hill on an office chair and you are trying to avoid obstacles and like do tricks. It's a really strange one. A short one, and it is one of those games that require PlayStation Move, so it doesn't have a non-move game mode in it at all, which is annoying, but still. Right, Lair, one of the early PS3 titles, supposedly an awful game. I don't know much about it. Then I have another import title here. This is... what is the name of this game? It is Legacista, right? Yes, it is Legacista. It doesn't say it anywhere on a cover, but yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, this does have English language as an option. Maybe. I remember it having it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, this is one of those Japanese dungeon crawling games. Like, they have a lot of these titles that have never been released in the West. And this is one of them. So it's an anime style dungeon crawler, basically. Then a couple of Lost Planet titles. The first and the second. I'm missing the third one. So there are 3. These are games that a lot of people have retrospectively commented that they really like them. I don't think they did particularly well, and you rarely hear people talk about this, but these should be just fine, I guess. Third-person action games. Couple more here. Mercenaries 2 World in Flames. I've played the original game on a PS2 and I really liked it. It's kind of like Just Cause, but maybe not as crazy. Kind of like GTA, but yeah. It's also sort of open world action game. Then I have Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. This is a game that I should play. A hack and slash spin-off title for the Metal Gear series. And what else do we have here? Midnight Club, Los Angeles. I haven't played any of the Midnight Club games. I do own most of them. This is still, I believe, the last one in the series. So after this, Rockstar didn't make any more of them. Unfortunately. Right. Let's do 2 more for this one. Next up, I have Mod Nation Racers. It's a kart racing game. And then lastly, there is Monster Madness Grave Danger. This is a reboot, I believe, or a remake of the original game, which never got a physical release. So Monster Madness. And this is an isometric sort of an action game. I really don't know much about it, but should be fine, I guess. Right. So that is the first part of my backlog for the PS3. I have about the same amount of titles here for the next video, so I'll go through them next time. Also some limited editions, I'll try to include them as well. So thanks again for watching, and next time I will complete my PS3 collection videos. So see you next time.